Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to episode 2 of season 2 of 5 Guys and a Gigalith. Today's match is against a guy by the name of 10Vivman, and he's bringing some strong mons. I'm scared of his team. He's got some bulky things like a Registeel and a Blastoise, but hey, you know what? That's nothing to shake a stick at when 5 Guys and a Gigalith is involved. I'll tell you that much for free. So, let's get into the game and see how it pans out. I believe that I do lead with Gigalith in this game, so Potato is going to be on the front lines, and I guess that he has a similar sort of idea going on. He's going to lead off with a Registeel, and Stealth Rock is the game plan for both of us, I believe, on the first turn. So he's going to set his right up on my side, which obviously, as we know, I'm not really that too afraid of Stealth Rocks on 5 Guys and a Gigalith. Nothing's too hurt by it. Only really McBoss and stuff like that is troubled. So we both get our rocks up, and he goes straight out to Blastoise, I guess wanting to spin away the rocks on his end so that he doesn't get screwed over, because he has a Chandelure on his team, and that definitely doesn't want to take damage on switching. But he surprisingly doesn't go for the Rapid Spin on this turn. He decides to go for the Scald, and I'm thinking, please God, Gigalith, don't get burned, don't get critted, just don't get hacked in any way. And would you believe it, for the first time in his life, Potato manages to avoid all semblance of hacks, goes for the normal gem boosted explosion, and is able to clean that Blastoise out right away at the start of the match without having to worry about it for later on, which is absolutely beautiful, I have to say. Now that he can't spin away the rocks, that's going to make my job a hell of a lot easier, especially if I am forcing switches on his end. And the main way to force a switch is, of course, to bring in an Azumarill on a Crocodile. Now, Azumarill, he's a special kind of person. You know, he hasn't been that prominent in 5 Guys and a Gigalith as of yet, but today he does show his true colours, because the switch to Roserade is painstakingly obvious, and so instead of going for the obvious Aqua Jet on the Crocodile, he puts on them shades, he takes McBoss's future viewing glasses of brilliance and double edges on the switch to Roserade, and one-shots the thing. One-shots the thing. Indeed, it goes down, nothing in its way anymore. So, in comes Chandelure. Obviously, I'm banded. He does not want to be taking more hits from Azumarill, and knows that, so he knows I'm going to switch. And in doing so, he's going to go for a fire move, knowing that Azumarill probably won't want to stay in. But I'm going to go into McBoss here, and McBoss is going to get a bit of Gigalith syndrome, and he's going to get critted by the overheat, unfortunately. I highly doubt that McBoss would have lived 2 overheats, and he probably, you know, this Chandelure probably would have killed me anyway. Unfortunately, he's not going to do anything in this match, but fear not, for Azumarill shall come in to avenge his dear brethren, and is in fact going to pull out those super shades of prediction once again, because only a poor man's Azumarill would go for a water move on a Chandelure. A rich man's Azumarill, which Incredible very much is, would indeed predict the switch and go for a superpower on the incoming Registeel, which is exactly what happens, and I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, that Registeel is going to go down in one hit to the glorious Incredibleness that Incredible is. Indeed, indeed. In comes Machamp, however, and I don't want to be taking any kind of sort of fighting move from that thing. I'm going to switch Azumarill straight back out, because I know that it is going to be very necessary to take out that Chandelure later on. I want to keep it in the back of my pocket with the Aqua Jet still running around. So I go into Nidoking expecting the fighting move, and he pulls a substitute on me, which kind of makes me fear the Focus Punch, the Sub Punch kind of Machamp set going on. But I'm not too worried about it. I'm thinking he'll probably have the Ice Punch, but I am at full health, so close enough to full health, and I'm thinking I should be able to take 1 Ice Punch, if not 2. Actually, why would I take 2? That makes no sense, but I can take 1 regardless, and I do that exactly. So I'm feeling like I want to do as much damage to this Machamp as I possibly can from this point on. I know Earth Power is Stab, got that Life Orb Sheer Force boost right behind it, and it should take a heavy chunk out of this thing. Definitely not leave it with enough HP to substitute. But instead of leaving him with a small smidgen of HP, Nidoking is going to get the crit right back at the Machamp and avenge McBoss's death. Indeed he shall. So in comes the Crocodile, and this thing is probably scarfed. I don't want to be switching out because I have Azumarill still with the Aqua Jet. I also have Hitmonchan with the Mach Punch, so I really do not give a crap if this thing gets a Moxie boost and starts to potentially sweep things, because in the end it will not be able to. That is why priority prevails, and that is why this team does so well, because that prevalence of priority. So I bring in Hitmonchan, and I surprise myself in the fact that I don't actually manage to kill him with a Mach Punch. I guess that the Crocodile has relatively decent defenses, so it's not going to be so easily taken out as other things such as, you know, Sharpedo or very, very frail stuff like that. He's going to live with a very smidly edge, but unfortunately for him, Azumarill is back again. Back to ruin the days of all the people who stand in his way. He doesn't need prediction anymore. This is the late game, son. Once the prediction has been done, the late game is all that matters. And all that matters is doing the correct move. In this case, being Aqua Jet. And in this case, being able to take out his last two Pokemon, which are in fact very, very weak to that Water and to that Choice Band and to that Azumarill, in fact. So, cleans out the last two guys on his team, does the work, and brings home all the cash in the back of his pocket. Spare change it is, spare change to him, for he is a rich man's Azumarill and he does the work, and that is how he rolls. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this 5 guys and a Gigalith video. These will probably be uploaded weekly. Makes sense to make them like on the weekends, I think. So look out for next week's episode. And until then, leave me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed and you are enjoying the series so far. Otherwise, you can click on my previous video, which was picture-in-picture. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.